I decided to fill these cross beams up with some expanding foam. A little bit too much in that one, I think. That's still dripping. Yeah, seems like the easiest way to get any insulation in them. Trying to stuff the recycled bottle insulation in, you know, that'd be almost impossible. So I thought this is probably the best, although messy. Yeah, I just put this tarpaulin down just to protect the floor a little bit. Yeah, I think I've yeah, like I say, I think I might have put a bit too much this end. Although, yeah, I'm a bit worried that's going to blow the you know, things apart. But there's so many holes in these cross beams that it's just going to excess. It's just going to push through them. I think trouble is that end one there. I didn't put quite as much in there because that furthest one. Because I had blocked some of the holes, I then reopened some of them up. So yeah, these ones I kind of pushed the pipe in every single hole there was. So I might need to do some more on that end one. I'll just have a look, poke some holes in once that's all finished dripping. That great big blob coming down there. See that? About to go. Yeah. Trouble is, I can't really do much until that's all finished doing its thing. Yeah, I've always got to get on and do this vent thing here today. I'm still undecided whether to cut a bigger one or retain that one. Maybe work out some way of actually stopping the thing from spinning round. Because let's say that it's quite noisy when that spin. Yeah, so yeah, this is the vent I've got. Just one of these mushroom vents, which I was going to replace that with, but this is 80mm diameter hole, which would mean going across a couple of these things, which, you know, too much of a problem. The other thing is that depth where this fits on, this depth here is only about 20mm, and my ceiling height is going to be thicker than that, so I'd have to try and find some other way of extending this tube. I fitted one of these in the Vivaro. I think what I did was just have the ceiling kind of dented in a little bit to it, which isn't ideal. But trying to find some pipe, plastic pipe, which is 80mm, not that easy. 100mm, yeah, no problem. So yeah, jury's still out on that one, and obviously that'll have to be done on a dry day anyway, which today would have been ideal, but I've started this foam caper now, so yeah, just got to wait for that to finish dripping. Right, all the expanding foam there should be dry now, so I'll trim all that off, and then go over with some more of the tin, the aluminium foil. Even then, I've still got some condensation there. Look. But until I get all that stuff up, which I've started here, which is this this stuff actually from B&Q. Seems to be the cheapest place. Yeah. So I've actually started to put some of that in. So I'm still putting that stuff, sound deadening insulation stuff underneath, and that on top, and over that I'll vapor seal it with vapor barrier it with some Reflectix stuff, the bubble, you know, silver bubble wrap stuff. Yeah, so I'll start to stuff some in there as well. Put in that corner bit there. I've got to get some in there as well. I'm actually going to fix the side rail for the bed platform across that beam there, but I'm going to use riv nuts so I can stuff some of that in there. Ain't got to worry about screwing into it, because obviously once the riv nut go in, the screw isn't going to touch the touch that stuff, so it ain't going to get wound up in it, so to speak. Yeah, so I shall get on, do a bit more. Yeah, I was going to do that. You can actually hear that now, hear that today. We get close enough with the. You can hear that turn round. Yeah, that's why I need to take that out. So I think if you've got a windy night, that would just be too annoying. But I can't do that today because there is a little bit of rain. So I did have enough time just to get my reversing camera up here, which is just up there, and I've fed the wire through that little underneath that stop light. So that's in here somewhere. I've got that green tape holding that up at the moment, just while the because I haven't screwed it on. I just used some of the old Sikaflex. That is some of this 522. Yeah, just use some of that just to glue it on. So I've just got that in position, hold that in position while it goes off. Yeah, so what I did below the stop light, the upper stop light, I removed the stop light, drilled a small hole just enough to get the cable through. Let's get a bit more light up here. Okay, it's a bit tricky. There it is. Yeah, see that goes double here. That is actually single thickness back there. Yeah, I drilled a hole just big enough, just below that stop light, just big enough to get the this wire through. Well, not through. I drilled it and then slotted it so I could drop the wire. Took the light out, dropped the wire in. If not, you have to drill a hole big enough to get these through. Why they don't use a smaller connector, I don't know. Yeah, didn't fancy drilling the great big hole, so yeah, I've just drilled that. Once that's all fixed down, that'll be really discreet. You won't hardly notice it. And there's the other end. See, a little bit short. So I have got an extender piece somewhere. Thought I brought it out here, maybe I didn't. Yeah, I've got a little extender piece. That's either that or pull some more from the front, but I want to have plenty in the front, plenty of slack there so I can position the actual monitor thing where I want. So yeah, I've just got a little bit of joining up to do there. Then pick up the feed, that'll be on this red wire here. Pick up the feed, and there's a plug goes in there with the red wire. Pick up the feed from the it's got to work out whichever wire down here is on the reversing light, so I can pick up so that comes on when you put it in reverse, basically. Yeah, so yeah, get on with this. So there's some more vapor barrier, the insulation, stick on insulation. on there. Anything you've got to be careful not to block is this. I think this is sort of like one-way valves in here. I think it's a vent for when you slam the door shut, just to take the pressure out of the van while you slam the doors. I think that's what it's there for. There's not one the other side, I don't think, just one this side. Yeah, just one this side. In the plastic covering that was over here, there's some slots here. Yeah, so just got to make sure I leave that open, and when I put my board on there, make sure I cut some holes out, or slots or something there. The thing I'm not doing is down in the sills. I'm not putting any insulation down there, simply because if the sills ever need welding and you've got plastic insulation down there, probably not a good idea. So yeah, I'm going to leave that alone. The only thing I will do is get some wax oil down there, and same over that side, under there. I'll just get some down there along that run there. I'll get some wax oil down there as well. Yeah, so I keep readjusting this light. Yeah, so I'll get some more of this in there, and then I can cover that whole thing with the bubble wrap, and I could do that one there. So there's no windows or anything going in this one, so I can get on and do this whole rear end up to the ceiling. And I can't do that one until I can get that vent in there. Yeah, so it's a little bit bitty, unfortunately. I've not picked the best time of year to do this. Outside it's either wet or very cold. The cold is alright to work in, it's just the Sikaflex, I think, I don't think below 5 degrees it sets very quick. So what I need is warm, dry days really to get on. Yeah, so the next opportunity I get, I'll be doing that, cutting that out, and then I can get the whole rear end done, really, because this side will be the same once I get them plastic panels off. Once I sort the wiring out, I can fill them in. Just need to make sure I leave access to the rear of the light units there. That's all. Yeah, doors, well, they can be done anytime really. There's no real rush for them. But it would be nice to get some insulation in there and stop all this condensation. Absolutely just dripping there. Might have another little mop up today so it doesn't drip all on the floor, make the floor wet. But yeah, I'll get this bit done first. Right, so that's all that done. That vent left clear. So I'm now just going to go over some of this. I've actually got two different lengths of this. There's that size, and there's a longer one there. I think for this one, because there's going to be a lot cut out, I'll use the shorter one. Cut out round this wheel arch, and then once that is done, I've got some stuff to go with the wheel arch as well. Yeah, so let's just get this on. This is just that. It's just like bubble wrap, really. Yeah, the shorter length stuff come from B&Q. That stuff comes from Wicks. I don't know why they do it in different lengths, but they do. Yeah, I'll just use the foil tape again to hold that on. And normally you would probably do all this and then do all that, but the problem is, because it's so cold at the moment, I want to cover up any areas to stop the moisture getting in. Even though this doesn't hold moisture, it's still going to penetrate and get to the back surface. Even though I've got the insulation on there, stick-on insulation, you still get, it's still colder than what this will be, so you'll still get condensation form on that inner surface. You know, this stuff, you'll still get condensation form on that because of the difference in temperature. Yeah, so I need to actually seal each part up as I go, really. That's going to be quite difficult sealing around that. I might just have to go over it for now and then cut it out later when I come to board it on or something. I'll cut it out then. Just started to unroll this. I thought that had separated. We've got this is just thin. I thought it separated from here, but that looks like I've got an extra layer of foil in there. It's a bit weird. Bit of a mix up in manufacture there, but actually I will hang on to this because that might be useful for a vapour barrier somewhere else without the bubble. Hey, yeah, that's strange, isn't it? There we are. That's that sealed top and sides anyway. I did have a go at trying to get around that vent. Done that as best I can. I can't see I can really, there's not a lot to stick to on that. That's a problem. Yeah, I've just left that loose at the bottom there, so I can just raise the flap up and do the wax oil in there. I haven't sealed around here, so I'm now going to do the insulation on the wheel arch, so that will seal up along that edge there anyway. Yeah, surprisingly involved really doing this. I remember doing all this when I did the Vivaro, and it just seems like forever getting all this on because there's so many fiddly bits to get around, especially in the back here, the wheel arch. Yeah, coming along. There's the wheel arch done. I have used slightly different stuff for that. I've got some, I think it's only about 5mm thick, but I am going to be boxing this wheel arch in anyway, in particular, so that'll have some more of the old fluffy stuff on it. Yeah, so that'll have plenty of insulation around there. I've just been using a bit of stick to shove it up each end where I couldn't reach. Right, that's all pretty much done along there, so I'll now get this stuff on here, and then this bit here I'll probably just put some expanding foam in there. That will work for that, but I'll get the sticky stuff on first. Okay, and they're going to have a go at fitting this little roof vent. So what I've already done is cut out a piece of wood to go on the inside and to take up that gap there, just between there and there. I've got some mastic tape which I'm going to use to fill in these little bits on the roof, and then also run a piece around the seal, which is just in there. I just need to remove this inner piece first. Take that down, cut a bigger hole, which I'm not keen on, and fit that in. And I'll probably go around, once I set on the mastic, I will go around with some Sikaflex just to make sure that's going to seal properly. Yeah, dry day at the moment, right under a tree, that's the only thing, so I'll get the food drips coming down, but hopefully I'll be able to keep it dry enough to do that. So I think this just has a nut in the middle, and hopefully that'll just pull off the top. We shall see. Well, that's the vent that was on there, and the fixing plate, and that bit, and that didn't have to take some getting off, let me tell you. Yeah, so there's a hole in my roof. There's going to be a bigger hole in a minute. Yeah, so I better mark that up, hopefully, because there's rather a lot of gunge on the top there, old Sikaflex I guess, and yeah, hopefully my hole is going to remove all that. If not, I'm going to have to scrape it all back, which is going to be a pain in the neck. There we are, one vent fitted. I've just used some of this, where's it gone? Some of that mastic just to take up the gap on the other side, and this bit of wood is just to get the right depth for these fixings. So the only drawback is roof height is going to be somewhere probably about there, so I'm going to have to find some way of extending this down a bit. I shan't worry about that at the moment. I could still insulate up to it and around it, and yeah, I've also put some Sikaflex around the inside, and I might just put some around the outside as well. Yeah, so somewhere under there is the vent. I've just got to cut this out here. I thought I'd just get some of the old line and stuff up so I can complete that end there, especially while it's a little bit warm, because you ain't got so much moisture to mop up, and also put some more insulation in there. And yeah, that is a good idea to wear gloves actually when you're doing that, because the old stuff, the old glue and this on your hands is pretty hard to get rid of. Yeah, so that I can cover up with some of the old Reflectix. Put some more riv nuts in just to hold the batten across there. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is finish this side off, which means I'll have to make sure I've got the whatever wires I'm going to run through there, because I'm going to have to put some insulation in that bit as well. Yeah, finish this side off, and then I'm going to board it and see how it comes out, just to make sure that my method, using riv nuts, is going to work. Although this one along here, when I put the batten across that piece, I think I'm probably going to screw it, so I shall have to drill that, screw it on first before I put the old fluffy stuff in. Yeah, it's coming along, it's coming along. There we are. Got my vent opened up again. What I did, just to stop this stuff, this silver stuff, foam stuff, sticking to this white rim thing, I just put some masking tape around it, cut around it, so when I pulled that away, that wasn't going to stick to that. So that's that bit done. What I've got to do now is work out how I can extend this down to meet my ceiling level, which is going to be below that. Yeah, I suppose what I could do is get some 100mm, not short, get some 100mm pipe and just kind of insert it when I do the ceiling. That's the only thing I can think to do with that. See that, or what I'd really like to do is unscrew that, drop it down and put some pipe in there, but that is only 80, well, yeah, 90. Actually, that might work if I put 100mm. Yeah, I'll have to get a bit of pipe and try it. Or put a slit down the pipe and close it up. That might be the other way to do it. So I would like to have this on the outside, if I can get it off now. If I've got any Citraflex leak through, that probably won't come off. But yeah, so that's that bit done. Oh yeah, next thing I really want to be doing is connecting up the old reverse and camber wires. So I've got one of these black red as a ground, then I've got to connect these two together and run a wire down to pick up the reversing wire, which according to the wiring diagram is a white red. So I've got to try and find a white red in there somewhere. Yeah, good luck with that one. Well, how about you? I can't see a red white there. Bianco Rosso. White black. Yellow red. White green, looks like that. Red black. Yeah, I can't see any white reds there, so I'm going to have to work out exactly what this pin configuration is, I think, and go from there. Another search on the interweb. Nothing's ever straightforward, is it? I must have changed the wiring colours for some reason. Right, just been on another forum, and someone reckons it's that one there, that light grey green one, which is the second pin on there. On this side it's this green one. Right, so I think, which side will I tap into? Probably easier to tap into this side, I think. So I'll give that a go. and see what happens. I suppose I could try and get a meter in there, show it in reverse and see if I can get a reading. That's the other thing to do. Yeah, got 12 volts on that green wire pin, which is this one here. I'm going to put it in reverse, so it's got to be the one. Right, so I think I'm going to try and pick it up back here. Yeah, that might be better. Right, so I'll cut all this open. I just had a few little mods done on it as it is. I think that's probably to do with the central locking thing that's been fitted. But yeah, right, I shall do that. Run the little wire up to the top and connect up the camera. Hopefully that'll work. Well, would you look at that? I should have opened it up before. Yeah, that's obvious now. This is the wire, the reverse light wire. And of course, there's a pickup here for the sensors, which are in the step, which don't work very well. Yeah, so I just got to make another connection on here. Yeah, so that's obviously correct. This is the screen end. This is the cable here that comes from the screen for the reversing camera into this connector here. So there's the yellow one, which will plug into that one, yellow one there, and here's the red one coming out of that cable, which goes to the back. So that is picking up a 12 volt from the reversing back down here to feed the screen. And there's also in that plug there, that black plug, there's also a negative, but you don't need to connect that because it will be getting the negative feed on the external of this aux cable once that is plugged in. So that goes in there like that. So this should now work. And I'll just take the oh no, I'll leave it on there for now. There's a little screen protector on there. Yeah, need two hands to do that. So I should get a view of the turn that on.